Now on CoastTV News.
Firehouse with a view. The new home for first responders in Ocean City, complete with a balcony and one very important upgrade for firefighter health.
Rules and regulations when it comes to Rehoboth Beach restaurants, some say become confusing and ever-changing.
Housing on the forefront of one big discussion in the city of Lewes, the different options that could be on the table.
New numbers on Delmarva real estate, what may surprise you in this market.
And we have rain chances for 2 days in a row over the weekend, but get this, it won't necessarily ruin your outdoor plans. More about that in a moment.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our news at 11. We do begin tonight with a quick breaking news update.
That's right, Mallory. Explosions have been reported inside Iran tonight in the area of Isfahan. There have also been unconfirmed local reports of explosions in other Iranian areas. A lot still unconfirmed at this point. We're going to be keeping an eye on any updates to make sure that you're up to date. And tune in tomorrow morning. We will have more on this story in the latest news. Now let's get to our local news and the city of Lewes, where the city has been debating the idea of what are officially called accessory dwelling units, or ADUs, also known as tiny homes, for a little while now.
Basically, these are smaller places to live that are built onto an already existing property. And the committee feels it's a necessary add to the city, but they say they want to handle these tiny homes carefully.
Coast TV's Charles Reinert shows us the different road bumps that the city needs to overcome to reach the finish line on this proposal.
This is the forefront of what the city of Lewes is working on, accessory dwelling units. The reason they're needed? Lewes just doesn't have enough affordable places to live, pricing out teachers, waiters, nurses, and every other key member of the workforce.
We want to do something. Let's go after the low-hanging fruit. That seems to be ADUs as the first step.
The Lewes Planning Commission brought the proposed housing solution up Wednesday night, and after months of discussion, these are some of the current rules in the ADU ordinance. ADUs cannot be bigger than 900 square feet. Any ADU in Lewes' historical district has to comply with H-Park guidelines, and the space must be inspected before a new person moves in. One of the biggest points of contention were the incentives to actually build ADUs.
They have to have an incentive for the homeowner, okay? What is the incentive for the homeowner to do what the intention of this bill, what our actions are supposed to do, and that is provide affordable housing?
The commission also discussed a recent piece of legislation in Dover that looks to add ADUs here in the first state and how it would affect their plans for tiny homes. This topic was sent back to Lewes' housing subcommittee to look over these potential regulations. This is still in the early phases, and it would need to pass through Lewes' city council in order to become a law. I'm Charles Reinert in Lewes, Coast TV News.
New tonight, Salisbury police are investigating after a deadly crash. The police department says it happened within the area of South Salisbury Boulevard and Pinehurst Avenue. The road was closed between Pinehurst Avenue and Lloyd Street. If you have any information about this accident, call the Salisbury Police Department. Now let's take a live look outside to check on the weather. This is Lewes. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams, joins us now with a look at the forecast. And it's getting cold out there tonight, Paul.
Yeah, that's the thing I wanted to kind of let everybody know. That cold you feel, that's a real deal. And it's not going anywhere. It's going to get even colder at night over the weekend. Along with the winds, it's an interesting combination, to say the least. Our Bay Health camera in Milford right now, we're down in the 40s right now, but the wind's coming at about 6 miles per hour. That's helping it feel like 40 degrees instead of 49 at the very least. We're going to continue to drop down to 48 by 3 o'clock in the morning. There's a small craft advisory that's been activated along the entire Delmarva coast. We're bracing for 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. It's going to make the waters a bit choppy for us, and any beach festivities is not going to be advisable, particularly if you're inexperienced mariner out there. Now, coming up, we're going to be talking about our expectation of rain over the weekend, and we have a brand new golf forecast coming up for you in a moment. Till then, back to you.
New tonight, a full 12-person jury has now been selected in former President Donald Trump's hush money prosecutions, and the defense team selected the jurors from a pool of nearly 200 people. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records related to a $130,000 payment made to adult film actor Stormy Daniels at the end of 2016, the election cycle. The former president addressed reporters after court was dismissed. He criticized the case, as well as District Attorney Alvin Brigg and President Joe Biden.
Very bad thing. The whole world is watching this hoax. You got a DA that's out of control. You have a judge that's highly conflicted. The whole thing is a mess, and you have the leading candidate and leading crooked Joe Biden by a lot. He's the one that should be in trial. He's a crook. You got a crooked president. He should be in trial with all the stuff he's done and his family.
Additional alternate jurors are still expected to be selected when the trial resumes tomorrow.
I'm Madeline Overturf. Here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. The Maryland Department of Transportation is trying to improve Main Street on Kent Island. Big concerns are traffic safety and helping pedestrians and cyclists. An open house is Monday, April 29th at the Kent Island Firehouse. The Delaware Association of Realtors says sales are down by 13%, in fact. That's compared to this time last year. It could be because of rising prices, with the average listing price in Delaware up nearly 9%. A 66-year-old Bridgeville man has been arrested for allegedly trying to sell his friend's car. Police say Henry Williams let his friend park his Ford Taurus on his property, seen here since 2021. But just last week, the car disappeared. And after investigating, police say Williams lied, said he owned the car, and sold it to a dealership in Laurel. That's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
Rehoboth Beach is a popular spot for going out to eat. According to the city, right now there's some confusion among officials as to what's considered a substantial modification or drastic change to a restaurant. Right now, if a restaurant owner is looking to take away seating, well, under city code, that counts as a substantial modification that requires a public hearing. The city says commissioners were confused why a simple change like this counts as substantial modification. One local restaurant worker says the ever-changing regulations are hurting business.
Yeah, so that probably took a little bit of business away, most likely, because people obviously love the outdoor seating, and then taking that away made it a little more difficult and slower.
The city says clarifying what it means to substantially modify a restaurant is a part of its effort to keep dining areas uniform and regulated. The city will further discuss this proposed change on Friday at 2 p.m.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what is your view on restaurant regulation changes? Let's take a look at the updated results from earlier this evening.
Looking at the screen here, Charlie, it looks like 89% say it's excessive, 11% saying necessary. And
Mallory, this is pretty reminiscent of what we've been seeing all day, this sort of gap. But if you haven't voted yet and you still want to do that, you can go to CoastTV.com or use the Coast TV mobile app.
And those numbers could keep changing. The Ocean City Fire Department has a new firehouse coming to Midtown on 65th Street. Here's what we know about the details. Inside, there will be 12 bunk rooms, a kitchen, a balcony facing out to Ocean City, loads of storage space, and the largest fitness room currently in any firehouse within Ocean City. But the biggest thing coming to the building will be a decontamination suite to protect firefighters from health risks like cancer. Chief Bowers explains how after every fire, firefighters can come here to wash off carcinogen byproducts produced from fires.
Our firefighters, after they're back from a fire incident or a training fire, they can actually get their gear washed off, get themselves washed off, and be ready for the next call.
You can expect this station to be up and running by the fall of this year. New tonight, the New York Police Department detained dozens of pro-Palestinian protesters at Columbia University in New York today.
This comes just days after the Anti-Defamation League graded 85 different colleges for their policies to protect Jewish students from anti-Semitism on campus. The report gave Columbia a D.
As Jen Sullivan reports, all of this is happening as the FBI warns of possible threats against Jewish communities ahead of the Passover holiday.
USA! Pro-Palestinian protesters clashing with police outside Columbia University in New York Thursday. NYPD detaining more than 100 people on preliminary charges of criminal trespass, according to a law enforcement official. Wednesday, many of the pro-Palestinian protesters setting up tents and spending the night on this quad, a violation of the university's rules and policies. Columbia's president, Dr. Manu Shafiq, writing a letter to NYPD asking the department to help, quote, remove these individuals. The crowds growing larger as pro-Israel protesters joined in. All of this coming a day after President Dr. Shafiq testified in front of a congressional committee investigating Columbia's response to anti-Semitism on campus, something she's been criticized for.
Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Columbia's code of conduct?
Yes, it does. Since Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, the Anti-Defamation League says anti-Semitic incidents on college campuses have tripled. In 2023, assaults, harassment, and vandalism against Jews shot up 140% compared to 2022.
We've seen a tsunami of anti-Semitism, just a tidal wave of anti-Jewish hate in recent years, and especially since 10/7.
As Jewish communities get ready to celebrate Passover on Monday, the FBI is warning of possible threats.
I want you to know that we at the FBI are closely tracking these very real threats that have your communities on edge, and we're actively hitting back at the perpetrators full force.
In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Rough week? Why don't you cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV? You can subscribe to the Coast TV Feel Good Friday newsletter for free at coasttv.com/sign up or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. The newsletter has personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more, all sent straight to your inbox each Friday morning. And even though we've gone through a lot already this evening, there is more still to come.
That's right. Trail on track when the final phase of the Lewes to Georgetown Trail will break ground.
And the weekend forecast is calling for a wet weather pattern, but with an interesting twist. I'll show you what I'm tracking and what you need to do. Stay put. We'll be back in about 60 seconds.
For 30 years, I've been fighting for Maryland.
The man with the guts to stand up to Biden, Robin Ficker.
Biden's let 7.2 million illegals into our country. That's more than all of Maryland. I'll stand with President Trump to secure the border, declare war on the cartels, and ban welfare for illegals.
Veteran, conservative fighter, Robin Ficker for Senate.
I'm Robin Ficker, and I approve this message.
Toyota is going all wheels in with fantastic deals on thousands of in-stock Toyotas ready for delivery. So visit your local dealer today for a great selection of vehicles, all with 2 years of no-cost maintenance included. Right now, get low 3.99% APR on an adventurous RAV4 or spacious Highlander. Get fantastic deals when you go all wheels in on your new Toyota. Let's go places.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
That chill in the air that you're feeling right now, that's not an anomaly. That's how it's going to be for the next couple of nights in a row. So get ready to bundle up, particularly if you're going to be out late at night. All right, our Spicer Brothers camera in Salisbury, holding at 50 degrees. The winds right now out of the northeast, 7 miles per hour. Our expectation for tonight, we're going to stay at about 48 to 47 degrees with scattered cloud cover in full effect. Now, we do have something that's going to affect us, and that's the winds along the coast. Small craft advisory has been activated along the Sussex County coast, and it will stay active until 6 o'clock in the evening. Now, this means that we're watching out for about 25 to 30 mile per hour winds, but not just here in Sussex, but all the way down toward Chincoteague, throughout the Chesapeake Bay area, and really most of the entire East Coast as things become a little bit unsettled. We are expecting a chance of rain, but it's kind of a wacky kind of a situation in the sense of high pressure is in the middle of all of this and a low pressure is to the south. So this is counterclockwise and this is clockwise. And when these two work together, it creates a wind gradient that's going to make it very breezy, hence the small craft advisory kicking in. That's why we have that sliced in between those two pressure systems. Had a high of 69 in Georgetown, 74 Salisbury 73 in Ocean City, and right now we are in the 40s and it's feeling a little bit cooler than 48 degrees. For example, in Lewes, Rehoboth, Indian River Inlet, and Bethany Beach, feels more like 40 degrees even. Here's what we're expecting. The wind advisory stay active until Friday evening. Late night showers Friday night going to early Saturday, but they're not going to last long, so don't start changing everything around for your weekend. You'll still be okay for your outdoor activities. And the pollens, they go even higher than where they are right now. Grass and trees are going to be problems for us. Here, let's start off with the sneezecast. Extreme. That's how high the pollen is as it pertains to the trees flowering and causing problems. And the cut grass, it's at a high level, went from medium or moderate to high. 5 o'clock in the morning, we start off at 48 degrees with the winds out of the northeast. Cloud cover will stick around most of the day. It's going to be a gloomy looking Friday all day long. 4:30, we'll barely scrape 60 degrees. Saturday morning, we start off at 51. Saturday afternoon, we see spotty showers floating through very quickly, if at all, and temperatures will be in the 60s. Those showers, that green, it's going to go through so fast you might even not hardly notice it. Now, keep in mind that as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday down the road a little bit more, we have another slice of rain that's going to come through for next Wednesday. That's looking like more of a sure thing for us if we had to have any bets, so to speak. So we watch out for a chance of sprinkles for us early Saturday morning for Assateague. Then we're watching out for a touch of rain, possibly in South Bethany and Ocean City with temperatures in the 60s. Once again, early in the morning and brief. Same holds true for us in Cape Henlopen as well as Dewey Beach. Here's a look at our expectation for tonight, 47, 64 tomorrow, and then 67 for Saturday. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast.
Thank you, Paul. Biking, running, and walking from Lewes to Georgetown is getting a lot smoother. DelDOT says the final portion of the Lewes-Georgetown Trail is now in the design phase. The first section of the trail opened in 2016. It will all be complete by fall 2025, and people we spoke with can't wait. Lisa and Bridget Whitcomb and their dog Lily walk the Lewes-Georgetown Trail all the time.
It's nice, but then you get to the end and you're like, oh, I wish it went, longer.
But the trail won't always end here at Fisher Road. It will go on another 6.5 miles to Airport Road in Georgetown. The entire trail will be 17 miles long, which C.R. McLeod says is the longest in the state.
When it's all completed, we think it's really going to be, the crown jewel of our trail system in Delaware.
McLeod says a $21 million federal grant is helping pay for the next phase of construction. People we spoke with say the price is worth it for the popular trail.
And if it takes cars off the roads, because we'd be paying to refurbish the roads if we're not doing a trail. So to me, a trail's worth it. Exercise and beauty all in one.
So many people use the trail. It's going to add to the value of the area, and what attracts people here in the first place is to be outside.
The low-stress trail won't put too much of a strain on traffic during construction based on DelDOT's plan.
We do have some intersection crossings, so when the construction is happening in those areas, there may be some lane shifts and things of that nature.
Biking, running, and walking from the first town to the county seat. The last 6.5 miles of the project will be going out to bid in the next couple of months, and ground will be broken in the fall.
Still to come, making a proclamation, Governor John Carney celebrating a very important subsect of our first state community.
And here's your look at our brand new golf forecast as you're going to tee things off. Well, is it going to be fair, good, or what? It looks like it's going to be fair because we're looking for cloudy skies and temperature of 60 degrees and a little bit on the breezy side tomorrow as well. So watch how that slice is going to curve and all that wind.
Thank you for calling Coastal Comfort.
This is a complimentary call. A couple of years ago, I had my heat pumps replaced. Last night, I noticed one of them wasn't working right. Somebody was out here within a couple of hours, and it's working perfectly. I was in the service industry for 33 years. Good service is something you can't find today. It very much is appreciated. Your crew's a good crew. Really fine people are professional and they're efficient.
Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Discover why Gateway Subaru is Delmarva's destination dealership, earning our customers' trust and exceeding expectations. No matter where you live, experience the Gateway difference with our no-pressure sales approach and fair, honest pricing. Plus, Gateway has more in-stock Subaru inventory to choose from than other dealers have combined. Need service fast? Our quick service lane is always ready. No appointment needed. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Here at Delaware Electric Cooperative, we don't have customers, we have members. Those we power own the cooperative and are entitled to all of its profits. Because we're a not-for-profit, we are focused on service. That's why our electric rates are the lowest in the region and why our employee family continues to achieve record reliability. Like the farmers who founded our co-op in the 1930s, we believe everyone is entitled to quality electric service. Member built, member owned. That's the DEC difference.
It's the perfect time to upgrade your vehicle at IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Enjoy remarkable savings with discounts up to $21,000 off Grand Cherokee 4XCs, $10,000 off Ram trucks and Jeep Wranglers, and $9,600 off Dodge Chargers. Explore lease options across our entire inventory, featuring the Wrangler, Compass, and the exhilarating Dodge Hornet all-wheel drive. Discover more at igburton.com or stop by any IG Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram location today. In Melford, Smyrna, Newark, or Berlin. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
In regional news tonight, Governor John Carney signed a proclamation for Month of the Military Child. On hand were students from Caesar Rodney High School, Dover Air Force Base Middle School, and First State Military Academy. Carney says, quote, "We owe military families a debt of gratitude we can never repay," unquote. In other news, Delaware State Police are investigating a deadly crash that involved a bicyclist on Wednesday night in Camden. Let me walk you through what we know so far. A 2015 Nissan Altima was heading south on Old Camden Road near the South DuPont Highway intersection. Now it's still unclear why, but a bicyclist was trying to cross the highway. The driver of the Altima hit the biker, a 52-year-old Delaware man. The victim was taken to the hospital where he ultimately died. The driver of the Nissan is a 22-year-old woman from Camden. She was not injured. This is an active investigation.
Blades police are looking at traffic at Market Street and High Street. The study analyzed data from the past 3 years. The results showed that the intersection didn't have enough crashes to require a traffic light. The department says adding a traffic light when it isn't needed for safety, well, that could actually cause new types of accidents. The study did find that some road markings at the intersection, those were worn out, and Blades Police says plans are in place to repaint these road markings to make them a little clearer.
New out of Maryland, the Board of Public Works has approved over $14 million to preserve outdoor space throughout the state. The board has approved grants to local governments and land trusts to protect land and provide recreation opportunities for Marylanders. Out of the $14 million, a total of $11 million in local funding was approved for 10 projects. Just one of those projects includes $100,000 for renovations to the concession and changing facilities at the Dorchester County Public Pool.
Coming up in sports, a henloping clash on the baseball diamond between Del Mar and Laurel.
And next, Botox dangers, what to look out for so you don't end up with counterfeit Botox.
Washington, D.C. is a mess.
There's no common ground.
The left, the right, they're just shouting all the time, and no one's listening.
What a mess.
But now who is going to clean it up?
Republicans and Democrats are arguing all the time, and nothing gets done.
And it shouldn't be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Enough is enough. And it's why I'm running for the U.S. Senate, to be a voice of common sense. I'm Larry Hogan. I approve this message because it's time we stop the partisan BS and get stuff done.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands that helps you get the most for your money so you can be any traveler you want to be. You could be a free hot breakfast hero at a comfort hotel. Yes! That's how you waffle! Mr. This script got a plot twist at a Radisson hotel. A business big leaguer. Go for key. Even the ultimate pool float inflator. With 22 brands and the best value for your money, Choice Hotels has a stay for any you. Stay twice and get a free night when you book direct at choicehotels.com. Gotta get the corners.
Home Living by Donaway Furniture is now open in West Ocean City. The people known for their vast range of offerings and solid reputation since 1954 are now bringing you even more great furniture. Home Living is a one-stop destination for all of your home furnishing needs. The range of furnishings and accessories cater to every style at outlet pricing. All items are in stock and ready to go home with you today. Home Living, located between Skechers and J. Crew in the Ocean City outlets.
Spring is here, and your home to-do list is getting longer. Don't stress. Horizon Services has you covered 24/7 with cooling and plumbing solutions to fit any budget. From minor upgrades to major repairs, no matter your home's needs, we get it done and get it done right the first time. Now's the time to avoid costly breakdowns and breathe easier by calling our certified technicians to inspect your system and remove built-up dust, pollen, and dander, ensuring it runs efficiently. Schedule your spring AC tune-up today.
A warning from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration about dangerous counterfeit versions of Botox comes after 19 women reported harmful reactions following Botox injections from those who are unlicensed or untrained. Mandy Gaither talks to a doctor about how to bypass counterfeit Botox.
It's one of the most common non-surgical cosmetic procedures with millions of injections every year, but officials are sounding the alarm on counterfeit versions of Botox.
The medical injectable business is very lucrative, so there's a lot of people that want to do this on the side or in their home.
The FDA says at least 19 women between the ages of 25 and 59 have reported harmful reactions in 9 states, all after receiving Botox injections from unlicensed or untrained people or in places that were not healthcare settings. Before you schedule an injection, it's important to do your research, says Dr. Craig Lehrman with Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center.
Do your research on where you're going, who's doing it, and you want to know their experience in giving these products.
Lehrman says to ask questions, get referrals from people you know who have been happy with their results. Look for a center that has providers who are board certified in some area of aesthetic or cosmetic surgery, and make sure the practice is licensed.
You can also search the provider doing the injections by searching their name and going to something like Health Grades or the state's medical board to look for infractions or other issues.
When injected properly, Lehrman says patients shouldn't have problems with this procedure.
If you do your research, I would still stand by. It's a very safe procedure with very predictable outcomes.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
This weekend, join the Delmarva Sports Network at the Delaware State Fairgrounds for the DSN Outdoors Expo. Both indoor and outdoor vendors are going to be on site showcasing everything outdoor. Plus, there's going to be demonstrations, prizes, food trucks, classic cars, and live wrestling. The DSN Outdoors Expo runs April 19th through the 20th.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
A rivalry matchup in our game of the night. Both Laurel and Delmar aiming to get back to their winning ways. In the second, Colby Shackley racking up a few of his 5Ks in this game. Moving to the third, Laurel up 1-0. Runners at the corners, ball lifted up by Shackley in the outfield deep enough to get the runner home with the sacrifice fly. 2-0 Laurel. Moving to the fourth, Will Lloyd lays down the bunt for the Bulldogs, and the ball is thrown into right field, allowing a run to score and advancing Lloyd to second. 2 in scoring position for Laurel, and they would not waste it. Bases loaded, 3-2 count. The ball hit into the air by Elijah Niblett, but Delmar unable to make the play in right field. Laurel brings in another run, extending the lead to 4. In the fifth, a huge chance for Delmar. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Aiden McCauley grounds into a double play. Isaiah Miller with the turn from short to second. The Wildcats get a run in, but that's all the offense they would produce. On the other side, the Bulldogs continuing to knock balls into the outfield, and then Connor Smith closes out the game with a couple of strikeouts. Laurel tops Delmar 7-1. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
New tonight, call it a game bill, which will allow Virginia's colleges to create and directly pay student athletes for name, image, and likeness opportunities, was signed into law today. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin added his name to what supporters call a first-of-its-kind legislation. The measure allows college institutions, both public and private, to create and assist in name, image, and likeness deals for student athletes at those institutions. Supporters believe that the law will give Virginia's schools a big recruiting advantage over schools in other states. The law goes into effect in July.
Still ahead, the Ocean City Convention Center is nominated for an award. Stick around for the category it's entered in and how you can cast your vote.
Every family deserves a cozy mattress, a table to gather, and a space to relax. At Alton Brothers, credit problems are no problem. Alton's in-house financing works with you to get the furniture you deserve. Proudly helping families for over 75 years. Alton Brothers Home Furnishings in Salisbury.
$6 billion. The total economy of a small country. Now a cash grab for Fat Cat Delaware lawyers. Because Chancellor Kathleen McCormick is doing their bidding. She stopped a legally binding contract in order to grant them billions in legal fees. That's a $300,000 an hour cash grab for McCormick's future bosses, while everyday Delawareans barely scrape by. What does McCormick have to say about these Delaware Fat Cat lawyers? We've always had each other's backs.
Our soldiers are heroes who protect our country. But when they come home, it's up to us to help our heroes. Now, during FH First Spring Into Giving campaign, for every $29 cooling system tune-up we perform, we'll donate that amount directly to Wounded Warrior Project. FH Fur Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. Call 877-CALL-FUR or visit FHFur.com to schedule your $29 cooling system tune-up. And use hashtag SpringIntoGiving to share how you're giving back.
Hey Delmarva, this is MJ Laughlin with IG Burton Chevrolet in Milford, Seaford, Lewes, and Berlin. Drive off in a brand new Silverado with a whopping $12,000 in savings or enjoy finance rates as low as 0.9%. Prefer an Equinox? Get $5,750 in savings or enjoy 1.9% APR financing with no payments for 90 days. Details at igburton.com or stop by any IG Burton Chevrolet location in Milford, Seaford, Lewes, or Berlin. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
When homeowners think of a kitchen remodel, they picture their house in chaos for months, eating out every night, and of course, a big invoice.
With Paul Davis, we have an easy kitchen remodel solution for a fraction of the cost. Our certified installers add 5 layers of hardwood over your cabinets with new doors and drawers to match.
And it's done in as little as 3 days.
Save Big 3 Ways is now extended. Get last year's pricing, pay nothing until 2025, and get $1,000 off now ending April 30th.
Call Paul Davis for a free estimate.
Do you like fluffy stuff? Alton Brothers has the fluffy sofa, fluffy chase, fluffy sectional, and fluffy swivel chair in all the fluffy colors. Get fluffy at Alton Brothers Home Furnishings in Salisbury today.
Do you like the Ocean City Convention Center? Maybe you've been to an event, conference, or performance there. The town wants you to cast your vote in the North Star Stella Awards. The Ocean City Convention Center has been nominated for Best Convention Center. Voting is open until May 3rd.
The next generation of great artists are getting an opportunity to express themselves. Sussex Central High School International Baccalaureate students have their work on display right now in the school's library. The program allows students to explore the visual arts, show off their creativity, and even challenge expectation.
That is outstanding and awesome. Our Irish Eyes camera in Lewes showing that we're going to stay in the upper 40s for tonight, but it's still a bit calm for tonight. Now, our winner of our umbrella tonight is Bill Mullen of Rehoboth Beach. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Ocean City sponsoring our UV Index report. We're going to have a level 4 for tomorrow, which is actually medium at best case scenario. But as we go into next week, look at those 8s for Monday and Tuesday. So if you hadn't gotten your sunblock or black seed oil together, you might want to do that because it's going to be burn the skin time if you're not careful. Small craft advisory stays active along the coast, watching out for 25-mile-per-hour winds. And our call line, call 443-880-9100, sponsored by Brad Mandales Broxette and Federico. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.